Play. Up there. I guess we're not doing it this morning. Hey, good morning, Seaside. Woo! What a band. Oh, my goodness. You have Max there on the Musendorfer. You got Jerry on the drums, Harley on the bass fiddle, and then you've got Bob just leading the band. Hey, great to see you here. Happy, do you say happy Palm Sunday or something like that? Anyway, just so grateful you are here. We have got a wonderful practitioner here this morning who is holding consciousness, and that is Denise. I believe that is Denise. There you go. That is Denise Harmon. Hey, Denise. And what that is about is she sits in our spiritual support center. Not every spiritual community has Vanna doing the twirls for us. But that's what happens when Spirit takes over. You just can't stay still. At least for me, I can't stay still. That's for sure. But anyway, the Spiritual Support Center is where we have our prayer requests. So if you are ever looking to just have something prayed on in your life, you go back there and you fill out one of those prayer request forms, and it's put in the prayer request chest, and it's sent to all the practitioners Sunday afternoon. It's scanned to us by Joanne Millicent, who's in our office, and you have 50 spiritual practitioners that are praying on that all week long, every day. So take advantage of that, except on the last Sunday of the month, which is today, we have our prayer wall. So when I'm done carrying on up here, we're going to invite all of our spiritual practitioners to stand with me and have you experience prayer coming your way. So you let them know what you would like prayed on and open up to the wonderful shift, and that is there. Also today, what's special is it's a new member Sunday. So at the end of the service, we get to welcome, I think you saw everybody's name that's in the program, and there's even one or two other ones that are joining us. So then we're going to lunch afterwards. So it's a big day. It's a lot that is going on. There is the sense of spring that is in the air. We have got this Palm Sunday, which in a sense is a celebration that sets up just a holy week of unfoldment. But I'll tell you what, when you're going to have divine unfoldment, you better have friends with you. So I invite you to stand up, say hello to a friend that is next to you, give them a welcome, acknowledge that light that you see in them.
Congregational song. All right, here we go. We all know this one. We want everybody to sing with me. Oh, Seaside, good morning. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. God was the Son, God is the Son, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. That's right, Seaside. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. That's right, Seaside. Oh, and God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. Oh, God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. Oh, use me. Oh, God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Yes, Seaside.
Woo! Thank you, Rebecca. Hey, I heard last Sunday, at least that's what was on TV, and that's what was in the headlines, and that was what was in the news, is that you and Peter Sprague won Best Jazz Album of the Year in San Diego. Woo!
Thank you.
That's huge! Standing O! Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations!
Thank you so much. It was such an honor to be there and be, honestly, I was surprised because we have so many amazing artists here in San Diego, incredible jazz musicians, and to be have been nominated and then to have won the award. We were so, so grateful. So
Yeah, that is
thank you
big.
for the
We're so
love,
proud of
Seaside.
you. Rebecca Jade, best album. I don't know, Nancy, do we still have her albums in the bookstore? We sold out. I don't know. You guys want to pick one up? But it's
All right.
fabulous.
I'll have to bring some more if there aren't.
Oh, yeah, I bet you could, couldn't you? That's why it's the best. San Diego, voted by a panel of judges, not even your fans.
Nobody could vote. It was only with the panel, the panel of the San Diego Music Award.
Yeah, so that's not like you could stuff the ballot box.
No.
It actually had to be
No.
good.
Yeah.
And you're great. We're so blessed to have you.
Thank you so much.
Rebecca, for sure. Hey, I'll tell you what we do here at Seaside is we keep going to that deeper place. We open up that door to infinity and we step through. And sometimes it's nice to take the hand of a consciousness that is so trained in that art. And today we have a wonderful practitioner to pray us a little bit deeper and a little bit higher. The wonderful teacher of practitioners at Seaside, the head of our education. This is Deb Sadler. Take us.
Good morning. Please join me for a moment in the stillness. Just taking in the beautiful energy of this glorious spring morning, knowing that there is one creative source that lives and has its being in all that is, that there is one power, and there is one source that moves in, through, around all that is, and it is joy, and it is ease, and it is love. And God is in everything moving as universal intelligence, this divine spark of love that permeates all that is. And I know that I am one with this divine energy. I know that this intelligence moves right through me, for I am a unique expression of spirit. And as this is true for me, this is true for each one within the sound of my voice, that each one here is that glorious, unique expression of God, light-bearing, loving, kind, moving through life as an inspiration, as a glowing beacon showing the way. And so I know as we are here with like minds, raising the consciousness of this planet, that we are blessed in this service, and that Dr. Christian's words touch each of our hearts in a way that sends us out into the world as a greater expression of our yet to be. I know that today is a glorious time of infinite unfolding, and that we embrace the message of love and joy that is Dr. Christian, knowing that it is all good, and so it is all God.
Thank you, Rebecca Jade, for reminding us of that love that is washing over us right now, and practitioner Deb Sadler for praying us in so beautifully today. Good morning. I'm Reverend Christina Tillitz, and it's my honor to welcome you, especially if you're new to Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, here on this Palm Sunday, where we honor all paths to spirit within and throughout the world. And no matter what path you're on, thank you for being here today, whether you're from a Christian tradition or a Jewish tradition or no tradition. Thank you so much for sharing your lights with us here today on this beautiful Sunday. And just so you know, we're a part of a worldwide organization called Centers for Spiritual Living, based out of Golden, Colorado, whose vision is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence for a world that works for everyone. So if you can align with that, you are in the right place. So thank you so much for being here. So today, for the whole season for nonviolence that started several weeks ago, declared by the United Nations, we've been sharing the good news. And Dr. Christian is talking about Doorway to Infinity today. So I wanted to share a compilation of some articles about the amazing Stephen Hawking, the physicist who left his body on March 14th into the infinite at the age of 76. At the age of 21, he was diagnosed with ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, and he was given 6 months to live. Instead of leaving the planet, he spent the next 50 years exploring the origin of the universe, the nature of gigantic black holes in the center of the universe, dictated 6 best-selling books about the nature of time in the universe, served popes in the Pontifical Academy of Science, and held the Isaac Newton Chair at Cambridge University in England. According to his friend and colleague Nathan Myvrod, Stephen's scientific prowess, remarkable as it was only part of the picture. Daily life for him posed incredible physical challenges that would crush almost anyone's spirit. Nathan says a side effect was that once you worked with Stephen, it's pretty hard to feel sorry for yourself. Whenever things in your life seem miserable and unfair, you stop and think of him, and it changes your perspective. It wasn't just that Stephen did his work from a body that barely functioned. That was amazing enough. But his positive attitude was even more incredible, even though he was wheelchair bound, had to be fed, and could only speak through a synthesizer. Nathan says that once when he was alone with Stephen, he spoke to him about his condition. And Stephen said, well, it was actually an advantage. First, he couldn't write things down, so he had to keep information in his head. And doing that forced him to simplify complex problems into a few critical issues, a discipline that he proved very helpful when he wrote all of those popular books that most of us can actually read and understand. He had a legendary sense of generosity of spirit that endeared him to everyone who worked with him. And I think that one reason he lived 50 years over the expected time was that he was really motivated. And at the end of his book, A Brief History of Time, he says that I was trying to discover the mind of God. And one letter writer to the Union Tribune said that Hawking had many questions about this universe, and now he has the answers. So let's take these ideas into prayer as we begin our journey on just exploring the doorways to infinity. Going to that place of the infinite, of that light and that love and that perfection and that divine creativity of spirit through and as all of its creation, through every galaxy, through every time, through every plane, through every planet, from the tiniest atom to the farthest galaxy. It is all that one power, that one presence, that one life, that one love that I call God. It doesn't matter what it's called, but it's that power through and as all of its creation, continuing to create every second of every sacred infinite day. And that is who I am, and each one here is, and each one listening in or watching on the internet is. Perfect expressions of that light and that love and that joy of spirit flowing through and as each one in this sacred time together in human form right here and right now. So I'm knowing for this sacred time together that divine urge to explore this doorway to infinity, to burst out of common thinking and to allow the infinite to flow through and as each one in joy and wisdom and light and love is the truth of this sacred time together and bursts forth from this sacred time together. It's circling this whole world in that light, in that love, in that wisdom of infinity. And for this light, this love, and this wisdom, I am so, so grateful as I release this word to the law, knowing this now done in complete joy and knowledge of the infinite. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, Seaside. Well, it is my honor on Sundays to introduce our guest artists. And today we have a brand new guest with us, so don't hurt him too bad, okay? He's a wonderful person, wonderful artist, and we have actually worked together in a couple bands, and that's how I've got to know him. And he's just got a wonderful spirit, and I thought he would be a wonderful fit here. I'm saying wonderful a lot, huh? He'd be a great fit here at Seaside. So we hope you enjoy his song selections this morning, and he also served our country in the military, so we want to thank you for your service as well. So without further ado, let's give a wonderful Seaside welcome to my dear friend, Derek Harris.
Good morning, everybody. How you all doing today? Is everyone good?
Yeah.
I was going to tell you jokes, but I decided to sing because that's my better suit. So without further ado. It may sound crazy what I'm about to say. Come on, stand up. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon. I can go to space. In the air, like I don't care. By the way, come on, because clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you feel like happiness is for you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Yeah. Give me all you got, don't hold it back, no. Yeah. I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap your hands if you really feel good. Happiness is for you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing. Bring me down, your love is too high. Bring me down to can't nothing. Sing along, say can't nothing. Bring me down, can't nothing. Bring me down, you're too high to bring me down. Can't nothing. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof, yeah. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you feel that's what you wanna do. Clap along if you feel like happiness is to you. It's such a good day today. We all get to get up and smile at each other and have a good week. We can create anything that we want with our souls, with what comes from above, with what comes from within. All you gotta do is feel good. One last time, man, then we'll go. 1, 2, 1. Because clap along if you feel like a room without a roof, yeah, yeah. Clap along if you feel like happiness is for you. Clap along if you feel that's what you wanna do. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
And that is Derek Harris gracing our stage for the first time. About time you found your way to Seaside, Derek. Nice going, man. That was a great song. Hey, man. You know, that's the song they would be singing on a triumphant entry into Jerusalem, I would say. You know, that'd be happy. Woo. I love that. Is the perfect song for the Palm Sunday. I can see the palm fronds being thrown down. It was good. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of celebration that goes on, and then the work takes place. Then the Holy Week shows up. You know, then the depth goes on, and we're called all the time. This wasn't just something that happened a couple thousand years ago. You know what? We are being called into action today to face those great fears. And yesterday, our nation, amazing. There were 800 different marches across our country and this globe. Individuals coming together and say, that's it for gun violence in our country. No more. Thousands in San Diego, a number of Seaside folks joined with the other centers for spiritual living down there. Yes, Mimi and Kathleen. And then there were 4,000 of us that came together here in Encinitas and walked. And then if you saw the live feeds coming out of Washington, there were, they said, 5, actually whoever does it, it's the Digital Design Anyway, it's the ones who count how many people show up at these events. And they said it was 800,000 people that showed up in Washington that stood there and listened to the children of our country talk. You know? And those are the children that we could really learn from, because they led us through example that, you know what, you don't have to fall victim to what took place. It was very clearly stated to them to be like the other kids in the other school. You know, you be quiet. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. You are powerless and you are young, and so just behave. And they said, no way to that. You know, they stood up and said, you know what, our representatives chose not to help us. The adults seem to not be able to help us. It is the children that have got to make the difference in this country if we want to end the gun violence. And they stood before our nation and just challenged us to think. It's like, really? AR-15s, their sole purpose is to kill people? That's really okay that you can have criminals get those without background checks? Come on, guys, let's think about how to be doing things a little bit differently. And so that is what we are looking at in our lives. If you want to open up the door to infinity, you've got to realize, you know what? I need to step beyond where I have been. I've got to be willing to open up to infinity and be that place where Spirit is going to have a new expression here. And so this morning's message about the doorway to infinity, it is about accessing the infinite. And here's the key. I'm going to give it to you on the front end, and I'll probably tell you 100 more times. But the key to the doorway to infinity is to realize your consciousness is the access to infinity. And that is what you have got to open. That is what you have direct contact with. And when you come to realize that you have access to infinity, then the only thing that is left for you to do is to practice. To practice. Wherever you are, with whatever is going on. You are here and you can practice that presence in your life, but you're the one who's got to be able to open up to it and to feel it and to sense that and realize that infinity is knocking. It's knocking on your consciousness, and I get to be the one to open it up and begin to practice and be the expression and march when I'm called to march, speak out when I'm called to speak out, and to bring forth the gifts that I have to share with humanity. They're uniquely my own in the divine expression of the infinite. No one else can do what it is you are here to do. And so as you make this triumphant entry through that threshold, through that space into the infinite space, you become available to the presence of God if you're willing to free yourself from where you've been. But I watch so many people like a drunk at the bar saying, I'm visionary and I can co-create. And they're planting their flag as they're repeating their same story of, yeah, I believe I can do it. And they plant their face in the sticky bar top. And, you know, we've got to get beyond just saying these things by rote and these arbitrary wishes. We've got to recognize that we were not created to play small, especially at a time like this. We are being challenged to rise to a greater way of expression individually and collectively as a community, as a nation. We are making this triumphant entry. Things have been pretty good thus far. But you know what? They got to die for the greater to begin to birth itself into our life. And we are entering this Holy Week. And we've been doing good work. But that's not the end. There's more work that needs to be if we're not going to live small. And Seaside was not meant to live small. It was meant to be a beacon. It was meant to be a place of healing. It was a place to remind us that we're in this with God and we are being used by God, that we are servants of the divine. And that, you know, you've got to be willing to rock the boat if you want to rock the house in your life. And what I shared with Reverend Debbie last week at her ordination, if everybody likes what you're doing here, you haven't gone far enough. If everybody likes what you are doing and what you are saying, it's because you haven't gone far enough. And people say, I'm going to lose friends. You know, the people I've been with my whole life. You know, people that are kind of hanging out with me or at work. You know what? Yes. Bottom line, yes, you are. But they're probably going to be those that don't resonate with what your core belief is. You know, it's going to be those that are trying to pull you down anyway, trying to get you to come over to your side. You've got to be willing to share your light. You got that? You've got to be willing to share your light. And when you share your life, you know what? Yourself is going to be seen. Who you are is going to be seen when you share that light. Your light was not meant to hide under a bushel. Okay, don't see me being this expression of spirit, speaking up for truth and understanding and freedom and love and caring and compassion and understanding. A willingness to reach out and to hear in a deeper way. A willingness to stand up and say, no more of this junk is going to happen in my life. But rather what I'm going to do is become the doorway to the infinity where the new thought and the new ideas to pass into form, and it's going to happen through you. You're going to be that place where the divine is happening. You're going to be that place where the new is birthing itself. But your head's going to say, whoa, enough's enough, Christian. You've pushed it a little bit too far. No, you got to say, enough is enough to your head that doesn't want to go far enough. You ever have that little ego in there saying, whoa, Christian, man, you're pushing that envelope a bit too far. You're going to lose people here. Yeah. Enough to that little voice, because that is the kind of voice that is going to exhaust you, that cares about, oh, what do they think? How am I going to be? You're listening to what other people think you should be doing? Good. 2 of you. 1 and God's a majority, so we're in good shape. You know, if you are doing what people are expecting you to do and you are listening to their story, you know what? You're not listening to your song. And those individuals, you're going to play nice, going to get everybody to, get on board. You know what? If you are trying to sing the song they want you to sing of a song they don't even hear that's going on, you're missing the boat here. You are meant to sing the song that nobody else has heard so they can hear it. Enough is enough of this chattering mind. The Buddhists talk about the crazed monkey jumping from thought to memory, from regret to plan, from sight to sound, and just driving you crazy. You will be exhausted trying to tame that. But I'll tell you where you find your power, your strength, your life force is to say yes. Yes to that which is moving. I can do it. I believe. I am capable. I know that I am here for a time such as this to bring forth the presence of God, and I'm going to believe. I'm going to believe in the possibilities that exist here. These challenges in my life, these questions in my mind, and these stirrings in me, in my soul, that which stretches me in relationships is bringing me to the place that says I am in charge of what it is I believe, and my life responds to what I believe. My actions respond to the way I believe, and I'm going to choose to believe from the other side of that doorway of the infinite possibilities in a way that has yet to be, that is greater than what is now. And and now's good. I was walking yesterday with this march, and Callie and others from Seaside. And there were too many for the city to handle, so they sent us to the beach, and only a couple thousand went to the beach. But I'm a beach guy. I said, thank you very much. And, and walking along the beach, it's hard to be angry, I'm bending over, picking up these heart rocks and saying, But as we begin to open up to the Spirit, we begin to see the Spirit of God showing up. I saw pictures of people walking in snow and in crazy places. It is the presence of God that's seeking to birth itself, and you've got to be a willing place. You've got to be that avenue. Say, Spirit, use me. I'm willing to go places I haven't gone. I'm willing to take my self-expression in ways that have never been expressed before. I'm willing to have an adventure beyond what my mind thinks is possible, because I'm willing to step into trusting life more than the fear. I realize that what is before me is nothing compared to what is within me. My mind may be trying to hold me back, but I saw a sign that says, my ego is not my amigo here. What is before you is small compared to what is within you, but you are the one who has to believe that you can do the wild and crazy things. Marv, you want to run this video? A little long, but it's kind of fun.
Can you even see what you're fighting for? Bloodlust and a holy war. Listen up, hear the patriots shout. Times are changing. In the end, show us what's clear. Take a shot in the face of fear. Fist up in the firing line. Times are changing. See a dying star, white lies, it's a man on fire. Making love with the devil hurts. Times are changing. promises made. Times are changing. Do you believe that you can walk on water? Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight? Do you believe that you can walk on water? Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight? Do you believe that you can walk on water? Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight? Do you believe that you can walk on water? Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight?
There you go. Yes, I believe you can walk on water, but you got to step through that door to the infinite. You got to step through where you haven't been before and be courageous enough to take that step, to say, okay, I'm going for that. And what I know about the stories of initiations is those initiates come to what has been called the hero's crossing, where they have come across that water that they have to cross, and it usually has to do with the possibility of death, of severe damage to their well-being, to their life, to their physical form. They have to be willing to face down their dragons, their demons, take a look at Mara, the Buddhist belief of all incarnations of evil, and realize that they are illusions, and that they have that infinite that is within them that is greater than what is in this world. And when we are able to take the challenges in our life and allow it to be the initiation to propel us through that door, we begin to walk with a greater sense of trust and reliability and knowingness and faith in that higher power that is greater than anything in this world. And you may have the challenges in your life, but what I've come to notice is it tends to sometimes take some time for this unfoldment to take place. The Buddha talked about, the thousands of continual daily practices, like the ocean floor is going from the shore, eventually going into the ocean depths. It is gradual, it is slow. People look at me and say, wow, I didn't realize you had like 40 years behind you on this. Little realizing for the last 35 years, 2 or 3 times a year, I would teach the basic foundation, 10 weeks of the core concepts, the basic principles of this philosophy. I would immerse myself year after decade in the basic fundamentals of the spiritual teaching of the immortality, of the continuity, of the creative process, of just being one with that presence of the Christ consciousness that is there for all of us continuously. So when we are brought to our knees in a time of challenge, when our nation is crying out, when our family is hurting, that we are able to turn within because we have been there so much, that what comes forth is spirit and a deeper expression. And crisis can take you there too. I'm not saying you need to every day do this. It helps. It's a way. It makes you accident prone for sure to spirit. But I've watched people through crisis, through loss, severe health challenges, busted relationships, the loss of family and friends, bring them to a place where there is a shift, there is a death to the old way of being. There was this one young adult who had just lost her second parent so quickly, and she said it was the first time she ever actually felt there was no barrier between her and death. First time took a look at the aspect of the soul. But it's only as we're willing to look at that aspect of ourself that we are able to cross that river, that sea, walk on water, if you would, that we are able to be able to, the hero's journey, they climb impossible mountains, they face life-threatening situations. It's only as we are willing to go there are we able to experience that presence showing up in that place that is needed. And when those challenges happen, if we're spiritually guided through it, we can come through stronger through the dark night of the soul. Our children are coming into their maturity, and if they're not guided through a spiritual practice and initiation, they're going to go find it out on the streets. You cannot deny that searching into the greater expression of the self, of the maturity, of the manhood, of the womanhood. They'll find it with fast cars, drug, dangerous sex. They'll find it with guns and violence and gangs. That initiation that allows me to move from where I was to where I can be. And if we do not provide that for the young people, they will end up in horrendous situations that can create damage or massacres in our society. We must tend to the teens, the young ones in our society. And I believe religious science and our teaching offers that as a possibility and a perspective. Because what we are saying is we have access to God. I mean, it's not our special deal. It's what the philosophers, it's what this whole, this spring thing, this Holy Week, the Passover that starts Friday evening, it's something powerful that is birthing itself, and to have the ritual and have the willingness to step into it, to feel it, to ask those deep questions. We have access to the infinite through our consciousness. That is the doorway to infinity. And when we are willing to put on the mantle, or the robe of the mystic, where we recognize that we are embraced by the presence of God, what we will find inside of us is a deep knowingness. Like when you learn the alphabet, it's like you got to work phonetically. A sounds like this, T sounds like whatever that sounds like. But eventually you get it. Now you can look at the words. You don't have to sound out each letter. You don't have to sound out each word. All of a sudden it's natural in you. When you continue to go to God for God, not something from God, to that higher power, that presence, not some king in the clouds in heaven somewhere, but to that spirit, that life force that is looking to express itself through you, that is knocking on the door of your consciousness with whatever is going on in your life, is the knock that is coming from a higher place that says you need to step through and be in a new way, in a new kind of expression here, for there is a life force that is powerful that wants to show up in your life, in your world, in a unique kind of way, and you have been chosen for a time such as this. You have embraced that mantle, put on the hood, you put on that cloak of the divine in the presence of God, and it will come through you as naturally as having learned the alphabet, not needing to take care of phonetically sounding things out. You do not need to think, okay, principle number 3 that Christian taught me in the 3rd week of that foundation class is this. No. It's your willingness to step into the unknown and let go of how you would have responded or how you would have behaved. St. John of the Cross, wonderful mystic, left us this great contemplative masterpiece called The Cloud of Unknowing. He said that we must die to ourselves and lose the radical self-centered awareness of our being, for it is only the self that gets in the way of God. Get that? It's only the self that gets in the way of God. And how do you get rid of that self, that little ego mind that's not your amigo? It is to die to that. Symbolically, the initiates have all gone through it. And so this Holy Week, we enter into Jerusalem triumphant, but it didn't turn out as they kind of hoped. Like the high dignitaries didn't show up for Jesus as he came into town. Those of higher pedigree, if you were, just didn't come down. The crimson robe priests were not there to welcome this guy in to town. They didn't even notice. He's been doing this for 3 years. He was pretty popular first couple years. He was their motivational speaker of the day. He was the Deepak, Oprah, Marianne Williamson of his era. But by the 3rd year, at least according to Lamza, who grew up in that area, not that time, but that area, it said, his popularity was beginning to wane a little bit. People were not quite showing up like they had been. And though the people that did show up were his brothers and sisters from northern Galilee, the Gentiles, but it was none of the upper class that was there. He showed up and he's starting to realize that, you know what? They want more than just preaching here. They need it to be taken to the next level. You know, and the guys and the apostles, they were hoping that he would ascend to be king and take the throne that David had, and they would be on his left and his right, and they could judge their enemies and be merciful to their friends and bestow benevolence, love upon those that they liked, and experience the wealth and give up being a fisherman or a publican, but rather a governor and a chancellor was in their sights. And this was not the kingdom that this guy was talking about, or at least that he knew and didn't let on. All of a sudden, he's preaching about, you know what, your reward comes after death. That's not a very good marketing technique, you know. We like that instant gratification here. And so we came to realize, you know what, that next level, it's been going good. I've been raising the dead, but they don't like that. It was on a Sunday, you know. Yeah, I'm saying eat what you want, but I haven't been washing my hands. You know, not going over well with the laws that were there. And so things were starting to move behind the scenes. The government didn't even notice this guy. Like I said, he was the speaker of the day. It happened every year. People just come in this time of year to fill their bellies with a Passover free feast, free meal. But something was going on. And you can feel in our world today something's going on, can't you? I mean, you don't have 800 rallies around this globe and millions of people getting together if there wasn't something going on in the collective consciousness. And our appointed leaders or elected leaders maybe didn't take this charge. And the adults have been unable to do that. But there is an emerging generation who says, you guys need to listen to us now. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't listen to us now, these last 10 years, we're the ones that are coming of voting age. And you are not going to be around any longer to represent our consciousness. They have the courage and the conviction to step through a door to infinity that has not been spoken or dared to be breached in a long time. And we are standing in the midst of change. Yes, we are great. And so we have been called to help usher in that new emerging leaders of our generation, of our culture, those that seem younger than us, but yet they have the courage to step forth. Maybe not as much to lose, which is maybe why they're willing to put it all out on the line and stand before the world and say, enough is enough. I'm stepping through to a whole new world. God bless us as we do this together this Holy Week. We keep going as we bring back Derek as he takes us on a flight in consciousness.
So I want to sing this song for you all. I kind of went back and forth with my friend Rebecca for a little bit. And we were like, oh, what song are you going to sing? I was like, you know what? I'm not. I'm just joking. You're supposed to laugh right there. See, but don't. Shh. So this next song is called I Believe I Can Fly. It's one of my favorite songs, you know, and on the way down, I was very moved because I thought about it. This gentleman wrote this song because he literally believed in himself, and it touched millions of people all around the world. So hopefully this morning, with my raspy voice, I can touch you too. Oh, yes. Oh. I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. if I just believe it. There's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. Yeah, I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes in silence could seem so loud. Oh, there are miracles in life I must achieve. But at first I know it starts inside of me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. Yeah, I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause I believe in me. Oh, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. Yeah, yeah. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Bless you all.
And that is Derek Harris. Woo! Stand up, take a bow. We love you. All right, man. Nice job. Woo! Yes, that's one of my favorite songs as well. Anyway, hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to share our gift, to share our love, an opportunity to support this spiritual community, this expression of God that we know as Seaside. And as we say yes to be used by Spirit to support its work, what we find is its work being supported as our very life. And so as you give, it's what comes back. It's not why you give, but rather it's an extension of your consciousness. It is declaration, affirmation of your participation as being the activity of God in this world. So I invite you to listen to your heart and say yes and allow yourself to fly to a whole new level, to step through into that infinite and let go of the way in which you have been heretofore and open up to that greater abundant flow of Spirit in your life. There's opportunity to practice. Are you willing to die to what has been and open up to the greater yet to be? Time to see it. With that, I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward at this time as we take our gift from our heart and our soul and our spirit. As we know it is given in that way, it's received in that way. And so say thank you to those who mail in your contributions when you can't be here on a Sunday. It is greatly appreciated, as well as those that participate with our auto tithe program, that regular systematic support from your world into Seasides on a consistent basis is a tremendous blessing because we have to continue to operate on that regular basis. And those of you at home, we're hearing from you more and more, whether you're in Jersey, whether you're in Michigan, whether you're in Florida, whether you're in England. I've been hearing, we appreciate your support. We love you. We know you're there. Don't stop writing and sharing your stories and participating. You're making a difference for sure. But with that said, I want to do a prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the divine unfolds its expression as our very life, and we become that place where the fullness of Spirit moves and the divine download becomes our natural expression. And as that Spirit continues to move through our life, it enriches and blesses, it uplifts, it clarifies, and allows us to walk with a sense of security and peace in a world that is absolutely God expressing. And I say thank you, Father God, for blessing my life with the opportunity to be able to share that good that has been graced in my experience. And so with love, I send this forth and say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to be the wonderful conduit of that which is infinite. And so it is. Amen. Together, let's say this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Guys from Seaside. Woo! Nice job. Woo! All right. Hey, do you think that was good? Next Sunday, Easter, they got a whole horn section going on. So 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. They're even going to be here for the sunrise service at 6 o'clock. So good news for you. Brenda Gunn this year is doing breakfast burritos. So anybody who comes to that service, breakfast will be available for you. So I know you'll just roll from one gig to Seaside at that hour, but no, we will take care of you with food. So anyway, you're fabulous. Seaside boys, we love you. And so as I stand for this bounty, I can feel the outpouring of love, the caring, the compassion that truly each and every one here today has been that conduit through which that infinite has poured forth its blessings, enriching our individual lives, allowing us to move with a deep sense of security and peace, and knowing that our source is infinite, that it is not bound to one person or one employer, but truly that infinite Spirit has many channels in which it sources our life and our world. So we give from this moving, abundant flow of life, share this with a love and a joy and a glory, and know that it has been received in love, it is handled in good stewardship, and it is put forth back into that flow, bringing the good that has come from you out into the world, bringing greater good and grace to all those it comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to participate in this wonderful, abundant flow of life. And so it is. Amen. All right. Hey, this is Josh Franklin. All right, your board vice president. Thank you. You'll be back here in a couple of minutes. We're going to welcome in the new people. Then we're taking them all out to lunch. So we can have extra people join us for lunch if they want, right? Don't tell Tina. Yeah, yes. Anyway. Oh, my goodness, Derek Harris, just wonderful. Welcome to Seaside. Loved your songs, your voice, your presence. You just got the spirit of Seaside in you. Or it could be the Spirit of God. They're one and the same. We love you. Come on back for sure. And Rebecca, once again, congratulations. Album of the Year, voted San Diego Music Awards. So well deserved. We're so proud of you. And next week, you're good to go. You got a whole choir singing behind you, right? Yes, you do. And you got Carl Anthony.
Carl Anthony also.
Wow.
Yeah, good times.
And we got all the ministers up here on the stage.
All the ministers. This is going to be a fantastic day.
It is. So,
yes.
Plan to be here. Get here early because we're probably going to have more than 500 people. And if you're thinking it might be nice, you can park in the park. And so all our guests can find parking spots in our parking lot. So I know Glenn's going to be out there helping point you in the right direction. But the band's going to be playing early, so come enjoy their wonderful music and all the horns that are going on. It's going to be a great day. But today was a great day, and thank you, Dr. Christina, sharing that wonderful story of Hawkins, who definitely knew how to open up that door to infinity. And guys in the booth, Ed and Steve, thank you for the sound, keeping my mic near my face. Marv, bless you for running the visuals. We appreciate you, and no CDs are available right after the service if you'd like to pick one up. And the Crawford, Sally, and Richard and their wonderful team. One camera was down. They're all over the place. But I got to tell you, it's making a difference. We continue. You can see the feeds. It's reaching hundreds of people every week on Sunday and Wednesday. So you are making a difference to the world for sure. So just only other announcement is we're wrapping up our paver program. If you have not purchased your paver for the ground, this is the time to do it. We're wrapping it up this month. So we have one more week, and that's it. I'll try to maybe get our pavers power sprayed next week, so when we're outside for the sunrise service, you can see down and see the legacy. You know, that message that you have written in stone, I thank you, because it's going to be here for generations to read. It means a lot to us now. It supports us now, so it's very valuable now. But also, it's going to be the foundation upon which the future generations walk. And so those are the names of individuals that have done that this year. I can keep going on, but what I really want to do is just welcome in our new members. And so if there is anybody here who has signed up, your name's in the program, or you let us know and your name was in the program and you're here, come on up to the stage. We want to welcome you officially to Seaside. Come on up. I want to pass the microphone down the row in a moment. Hey, I'll take it. Not yet. No. We'll get there. You're getting excited. That's the celebration. That is like, Test. Okay. All right. Hey, look at this wonderful crew. Oh my. That is just absolutely, wow. This is fabulous. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pass the microphone and you get to share your name. That's it. You get to share more at the lunch, but just share your name with everybody and then pass it on. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Michelle DeGaris.
Yeah, prac student.
Morning, I'm Damon Snell.
Hi, I'm Micah Logan.
Laura Mitchell.
Hi, I'm Nancy Queen.
Good morning, Lori Rogers.
Good morning, Rosa Maria.
Hi, Reverend Jen Cormier.
Hi, I'm Kelly Spieg.
Hi, good morning, Jason Bauman.
Good morning, Sheldon Jenkins.
Good morning, Linda Rogers Jenkins.
Hi, my name's Lucia, and I'm so excited to be here and get to know you all.
Good morning, Susan Sullivan.
Diane Allen.
Good morning, Roxana Campos.
Hi, Teresa Powell.
Hello, Scott Powell.
Hi, my name is Lori Costenborder Jordan. You must remember that.
Okay.
And I'm the simple David Jordan.
Hello there. My name is Jim Kitzmiller.
Mark Sands.
Well, I want you to know it is a joy that you have chosen to consciously align with this spiritual community, because your presence here today and your yes is just a confirmation to us all that Seaside is alive, that it is growing, that it is a dynamic spiritual community that is making a difference today within the world and the community in which we serve. And one of the joys of doing spiritual community is you have found a family of like-minded individuals say, hey, count me in. It is a place where you can play with individuals of like mind, that you can get involved with other people that are of the same level of thinking, that you know what, it is a new thought that can change our life, that it is a belief that allows us and empowers us to act and be in a different way. And so one of the most satisfying things that we can do is to become aware of our deliberate unfoldment with the Spirit, to be consciously aware that there is a power and a presence that is greater than we are, and that we can use it, and we change our thinking and you can change our life, is what Ernest Holmes told us. And so I want us to be aware that there is not the community and its people. You are the community. You are its hands, its heart, and its feet. You are the Spirit that moves within this spiritual community, and your presence and your word and your activity makes a difference to what Seaside is in the world. And so within the body of this community moves the Spirit of Seaside. You have deliberately made yourselves an integral part of a movement where every individual is an individualization of the presence of God. And it is from our fruits that we take our authority. It is from the healings and the stories and the demonstrations that we take the realization that these are not just merely words that we are sharing, but they're real life unfoldment that is happening. And so I want us to know that religious science is the science where we deliberately cooperate with the divine nature, the infinite expression of God. We consciously step through that door to the infinite expression of Spirit, and that our ministry is one of healing for the purpose of revealing our inherent divinity. And we talk about healing in our relationships, in our body, in our world of affairs, in our finances, in all aspects, because there is no place where God is not. And so to believe that this creative process is the divine presence that can be directed in our life for the greater good for ourselves as well as those around us allows us to know that we have been born to be the spiritual leaders. This community is not based upon one guy standing up there on Sundays and carrying on. It is about all of us being spiritual leaders in our life, in our community, at our workplace, and with our families, with our friends. This new thought will grow as you grow and take it in the world. So we are blessed that you said yes here today. We're looking forward to taking you out to lunch, but I'll tell you what, our Vice President, the wonderful Josh Franklin, has some words on behalf of your Board of Trustees.
Hello to all of you and welcome. You are unifying with each other and the members of this center and all member centers for spiritual living throughout the world in a warm, loving, divine fellowship of the Spirit. As you enter into this center's activity and thought, word, purpose, plan, and action, you are important in a unique way to each other and to all humanity. Through your adherence to and practice of the teaching of religious science, you become a vital factor in establishing and maintaining the kingdom of heaven on earth. As you join in membership cooperation, the experience of each is enlarged and expanded into greater good. For as you enter into a life of service to mankind, to life itself, and to God, you knowingly become one with the very spirit of the divine presence. In this way, you increasingly become an influence for good in the lives of all whom you contact. The one obligation placed upon you is the obligation you place on yourself in the fulfillment of the purpose in your heart or your life and the meaning of this membership to you. On behalf of our Board of Trustees and the other members of this center, I lovingly receive each one of you into membership in the Seaside Center for Spiritual Living.
Sisters with me and my brothers too. Come on. We are family.
just like birds of a feather. I won't tell no lies. All other people around us, they say, can we be that close? That's right. Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dose, yeah. We are family, we are family. I got all my sisters, I got my sisters with me. We are family, and my brothers too. Get up everybody and say, yay, we are family. Oh yeah, I got all my sisters and my brothers too, yeah. We are family. Hey, get up everybody and say, yay, yay.
Woo, welcome, each and every one of you. Remain standing as this prayer of life and love and celebration carries on. For there is a spirit that is the heart and soul of this community. And that is the heart and soul of God that is expressing in a personal way for each and every one of us. For that celebration, the divine is what heals and transforms and shares the light. For this day, this celebration, this happy sound is truly the right state of being of the divine presence. So I say thank you, thank you, thank you for the transformation, the healing, the honoring, the prayer request, and this confirmation that Seaside is alive and growing to its wonderful new next level as we step through this door to infinity. And so it is. Amen.
Oh yeah, hey, 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 yeah. Come on, say, we are family. I've got all my sisters with me and my brothers too. We are family. Come on, get up everybody and sing. Come on and sing it with me. We are family. Yeah, yeah. I got all my sisters and my brothers too. Yeah, we are family. Oh yeah, get up everybody and sing. Oh yeah.
Prayer Wall Sunday, come on up, receive a personal prayer from the spiritual practitioners of our community. Seaside practitioners, come on up. We are here to serve you. Keep this celebration going into our prayers, into the spirit. You know what? Healing can be a joyful thing. Come on down. Congratulations, new members. Looking forward to lunching with you.